10 years ago, a classic beloved quest mod, the Gray Cowl of Nocturnal, was first released, and now its creator, ManiGT, has released a 10th anniversary version of the mod with several updated features, and thus it should be the perfect time for me to finally play the mod with you guys. I'm Raina, the Bard's College graduate, and welcome to Hammerfell. Let's summarize the mod for those not yet familiar with it. The main quest revolves around the Gray Cowl of Nocturnal, which is a legendary artifact, a mysterious cowl that makes you the master of the art of thieving. The last owner of it was the champion of Cyrodiil, but after that, its whereabouts has been hidden in the shadows. Until one day the last Dragonborn comes along, to whom it has been saved for 200 years. This mod adds this exhilarating adventure through the neighboring province of Skyrim, Hammerfell, as we end up in this unforgiving desert of Alik'r, where we meet interesting people and explore the unfamiliar land, uncovering its secrets one by one. Aside from the main quest, there are many side quests available, as well as huge custom world spaces to explore, and so the total runtime of the mod could vary from anything from 8 hours to even 15 hours. There are tons of references to the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, so for those who'd like to feel that fuzzy, warm feeling of nostalgia, the Gray Cowl of Nocturnal should be a good pick for you. The anniversary update brings a lot of improvements to the mod, including better graphics, more details in the new world space, renewed voice acting, new dungeons and areas to discover, and of course more enemies to best. There is an additional player home in the eastern side of the Alik'r Desert for the real estate enjoyers, and even a completely new fighting pit where you can challenge the best fighters of the region and claim victory either by battle or alternatively betting your hard-earned gold. In the update, there has also been general bug fixing, and for what it's worth, I didn't come across a single bug of any sort in my playthrough, which is obviously a plus. Alik'r Desert is not only comprised of sand as far as the eye can see, as you can cool off by an oasis or delve into an ancient ruin. We'll explore these foreign landscapes, new features, locations and side quests in more detail later on in the video, but now let's just play the whole of the main quest line first. This is a walkthrough of the Gray Cowl of Nocturnal, completely full of spoilers, so if you haven't yet played it and are looking forward to doing it, stop right there, criminal scum, maybe check another video of mine. After playing the main quest, we'll check out the side quests, and at the end, I'll give my final opinion on the mod. Now, let's just dive straight into it. The quest begins when you first pickpocket anyone in the province. You'll see a strange vision, a map of Skyrim just right in front of your eyes. By following the map marker, you'll eventually reach a house in the Reach, where a woman called Seviana Umbronox greets you.
Hey, who are you? The Dragonborn has come. You're here. Finally, you're here. My family has been waiting for generations, Dragonborn.
She tells you that her family has been waiting for the Dragonborn for generations, and now you're finally here, and she's ready to tell you the whole story. The legendary leader of the Thieves Guild, the Grey Fox, Corvus Umbronox, had this mysterious artifact, the Cowl of Nocturnal, that makes the person wearing it become a master in thievery. Before their death, the champion of Cyrodiil, the last owner of the cowl, decided that the next owner of it should be a Dragonborn, And that brings us here at the beginning of our adventure.
That's because, at the time, there was no member of the Thieves' Guild worthy of wearing the cowl. So, he decided that the Grey Fox would be someone more worthy. A Dragonborn.
After talking to Seviana, we got the instructions to head to the Mausoleum of the Champion of Cyrodiil. That's where the champion was buried, supposedly along with the famed Cowl of Nocturnal. So we arrive to the south of the province, between the mountains of Skyrim and Cyrodiil, where a huge structure is built and is the first step in our grand adventure. Just a few pulls of levers and we're inside the Hall of the Initiation, where a figure surrounded by mysterious purple glow meets us. When we approach it, it'll fly past us and leave behind a bust of the Grey Fox. Touching this mysterious statue, its eyes turn red and a portal opens to the old way of the thief, a trial where we're supposed to think like a thief or never see home again, as it warns. This cavern system has tests for us to deduct our skills on thievery, and first off, we must simply pick a lock to find the key to the first real trial, the Chamber of Fire, where a mysterious figure stares us and then walks away. Here, at first glance, it seems impossible to go across the fiery pit, but if we take use of the clairvoyance spell that was offered to us in the earlier room, the way is clear and we can proceed. The mysterious figure is nowhere to be seen, but a portal appears before our eyes, the hidden chambers of Sancretor. Sancretor is an ancient, ruined Colovian city in the Jural Mountains, so yes, we have passed right into the neighboring imperial province of Cyrodiil. In these ancient chambers, we'll find our way through to a new challenge, one where we're supposed to pickpocket the keys of ghosts of the old Blades members. Joffrey, Cyrus, Baragon, and Captain Stefan, all familiar characters to those of us who have played Oblivion. After succeeding, we're in the burial chambers of Captain Renault and Glenroy, who sacrificed themselves to keep the Emperor Ural Septim VII safe. In the next room, another portal appears that'll take us to the Imperial City prison. In the prison, we'll see a vision of the Emperor and the Champion of Cyrodiil exiting through the secret passage in the wall. Again, a sight very familiar to many of us. After that, we're free to roam, kill the Thalmor soldiers overlooking the prisoners, and find a spell tome to shine some light on our way. This takes us deep into the prison dungeons until we find another one of the Grey Fox's puzzles, a table where we're supposed to activate the candles in the correct order. After successfully doing so, the opposite wall comes down and a chamber of Iliad ruins opens up before us. Upon activating the shrine, yet another portal opens, but this time it violently drags us to Coldharbour, Moloch Baal's realm.
What have we here? A new pet for my realm? A very peculiar pet. Where are you from, you mortal? Let me guess. The trap under the Imperial City. But why are you so... Oh, interesting. The Gray Cowl of Nocturnal, huh? You're seeking the Gray Cowl. You're here to follow who was here 200 years ago. Let me remember. Yes, Chow Umbernox.
In this forsaken land, our only goal is to escape, and if we do it quietly, without harming any of the creatures that dwell here, we're supposed to get something in return. Interesting, so sneaking it is. There are a lot of chests here to loot, 12 in total, but the main objective here is to get the key from the cave. By casting Ancient Vision, we'll find a strongbox that holds the key to the Tower of Coldharbour, which takes us further into the halls of the West. As we did not break the silence of Coldharbour, we're given this eagle eye ring that highlights all chests and doors around us, which may prove itself quite useful for a thief. Now, I can just tell you, this Halls of West part of the mod is definitely not my favorite part to go through. It is full of cramped corridors, and for someone who's bad at navigating this sort of places, it was a nightmare. But basically here, we must find all the levers and proceed little by little in this maze until we reach this beautiful hall with the Grey Fox guiding us once more. Now, we'll take this portal to the houses of the Tempted Centaurians, where we're supposed to sneak past these Dwemer Centaurians and snatch these curious spherical stones. After doing all that, we place them in the chest and are free to proceed further into the never-ending hallways. Some more Ancient Vision and some more pull bars, and another beautiful hall with another treasure for you. The boots of Springhill Jack, another reminder of Oblivion. At which point should I stop pointing out these references? Not sure. Anyways, these boots make you super fast, very useful. Now, let's jump to this elevator and get ready to finally say goodbye to these perilous halls. At the top of the building, use your new boots to make the jump to the other side, which finally takes us to Hammerfell, a western province of Tamriel, the home of Redguards and the vast landscapes of the Alik'r Desert. Straight ahead, we can see a man fighting a wolf and decide to help him strike it down.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
This man, Arenar Estrecus, seems astonished to see us, and after demanding to know where we came from, he is adamant on leading us into his hometown through the desert. We'll travel through the beautiful, scorching hot Hammerfell landscape into the charming town of Ben Erai, which we will be later exploring in detail, and further into the fortress of Ben Erai.
You, go fetch Lady Celoria. This is it. The Dragonborn is here.
Here we learn more about the situation. These people are the descendants of Caio Umbernox, the illegitimate son of Corvus Umbernox, the last Grey Fox, and just as Seviana, whom we met in Skyrim, they have been waiting for our arrival. Inside, Lady Celoria, the chief of Ben Erai, awaits us and makes us feel welcome in Hammerfell after confirming our Dragonborn identity.
Yes, Hammerfell. In this region, you can find the legendary Mausoleum of the Champion of Cyrodiil. It is located northeast of here. It is easy to find because the entrance is a canyon that brings you to an oasis, the Oasis of Mora.
She directs us to the legendary Mausoleum of the Champion of Cyrodiil, but before getting there, we of course need two things: the key and a special amulet that keeps us safe from local beasts in the oasis where the mausoleum is located. Before leaving for the next exhilarating adventure, let's explore the town of Ben Erai. This is the only settlement in Alik'r Desert, filled with light-colored two-story buildings among the palm trees, and it's closely guarded by firm towers and walls. There are water fountains at every corner, colorful tents to cast some security of the shade, and obelisk-style pillars familiar to Hammerfell. The inn of the town, Black Mesa, is a friendly place where you can buy something to eat and enjoy a bit of chatter with the barman Gordon. No, this is a reference I can get behind as a Valve fangirl.
Well, I like it. Maybe it doesn't make sense for you, but for me, it does. It's a simple way to remind me that there are some things that need to be confirmed
On the notice board at the entrance to the inn, there are some additional side quests for you to do on your free time, ranging from finding missing items to making an end to a group of bandits. There's also the Last Sentinel Emporium, which is a general store managed by a man called Telrav, but also the place to buy yourself a camel to travel the desert a bit more conveniently. Here you can also purchase an estate next door, Moonlight Home, that is a bargain for 3,000 gold and a proper place to rest while doing this adventure in Hammerfell. Just like most of the other buildings in Ben Erai, Moonlight Home has a top floor balcony shielded from the scorching midday sun and a small space on the front yard to sit by. Inside, the home is admittedly a very small cubicle, but it keeps you and your belongings safe and sound, which is the most important thing. At the first glance, this garden here at the town may seem just like another place to enjoy nature's bounties, but if we use the Ancient Vision spell, a portal appears that takes us to this beautiful overlook where we can enjoy the view and plan our next steps in this unfamiliar province. Okay, now that Ben Erai is thoroughly explored, let's go and get that special mausoleum key that should be found inside the Temple of Al-Shadim, according to Siloria. So, let's hop on our new, hopefully trusty, camel friend and let's get going. The road is not so peaceful, as there are horrible creatures such as these worm mouths attacking us, but I wager that's not the worst thing we'll come across in this journey. From the outside, the temple looks incredible, it is huge. But when we take a step to the courtyard, no one's there, only some desert wolves welcoming us to Al-Shadim. Never mind the wolves, as inside the cramped temple halls, we'll feel much less welcomed by these bloodthirsty skeletons guarding it and traps for an unsuspecting visitor. And yes, these halls are definitely cramped and again, very confusing for someone with poor navigation skills such as myself. Seriously, can someone come and install some sort of GPS update on my brain? Anyways, after fighting a mental battle, we'll finally find a chain to pull on and can proceed further into the temple. Oh yeah, by the way, if it wasn't already quite clear, this mod makes you absolutely filthy rich. Not sure if that happens in an ethical way, but hey. Now, finally, we reach this hall with Daedric writing all over it and 4 pull bars, a puzzle to solve. We'll rotate discs to match the alphabets we saw earlier on the walls, and that way open the door to proceed further into the temple. Here, the deeps of Al-Shadim is the last resting place of Ben Salah, who rises from his grave and attacks us, the intruder, with this scimitar. After defeating him, we can loot his unique Yokura shield that can push the enemy away from you when bashing with it. And yes, here we find the thing we actually came for, the key to the Oasis of Mora, where the entrance to the Mausoleum should be located in. We'll return from the damp cave to the warmth of the desert and hopefully find our sweet camel friend somewhere. Ah, there you are. We're not in the clear just yet. Before going to the Mausoleum of the Champion of Cyrodiil, we'll also need the amulet, the friend of ancestral cheetahs, that can be found from the very north of the region in their lair. The oasis where we're headed next is full of these feline creatures that show no mercy, and this amulet will keep us safe from them. But also, the magic entrance to the mausoleum won't open without it, so we definitely need to have it. Now, aside from this guarding cheetah, it's better to try and sneak around these vicious beasts and go through the left side of the lair, drink an invisibility potion and snatch the amulet. Or you can go guns blazing if you want, but make a run for it, grab the amulet, and now we're all friends. I wish I could have one such cheetah as a mount. Not that I don't like the camel, but just look at these majestic beasts. Now we're finally free and prepared to enter the Oasis of Mora, where we should find the entrance to the Mausoleum of the Champion of Cyrodiil and furthermore, the legendary Gray Cowl of Nocturnal that the champion left for us to find. Here I'm very happy we have the amulet as we don't need to worry about the cheetahs and can enter the cave of Mora in peace. Walking through this well-lit cave corridor, we eventually come to an open place and see a huge pyramid in the distance. This looks incredible. Here at the center, the bust of the Grey Fox welcomes us once more. We have officially reached the Mausoleum. We're finally inside the Mausoleum, where we have been aiming to come this whole time. The space is decorated lavishly, there are portraits and paintings on the walls, and it exhales importance and history. Finally, we reach this hall where a single diamond can be found on the table next to another Grey Fox bust. By snatching it, the sliding door opens and reveals another stage where the grave of the Champion of Cyrodiil can be finally found. Now we're to use the arrow of extrication we got all the way back in Skyrim from Seviana and shoot the target on the wall opposite of us.
Cheese for everyone!
When we manage to hit the target, Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness, surprises us with his presence, throwing cheese everywhere. He is waiting for us in one of the balconies where we can now see the beautiful Cyrodiil landscape and the Imperial City spinning around us.
Oh, a mortal. Wait, a mortal I mean? My mortal. What are you doing here, mortal? When I've given you things to do. Martin. Who's Martin now? And who's Corvus too? Joffrey? Draven? Lachance? Azar. A voice in me. He's not me, or it's in me. He's me. What did you say? Get out a moment. Me? Yes, you. But get out a moment.
Here we have an interesting chat with Sheogorath, who then agrees to step out, so to say, and let the true form of the champion come out, with whom we can have a long conversation.
I am the well-known champion of Cyrodiil. It was not so much time ago, just 2 centuries ago. Cyrodiil? No, we are not in Cyrodiil. What you see is not real, not even this place, to be honest. As you have just known, I became Sheogorath when I went to the Shivering Isle. The gates of Oblivion had been opened, the invasion of Daedra had begun, so it was up to me to do my part. The Emperor gave me the Amulet of Kings.
After the talk, the champion accompanies us to a portal where he transforms to Sheogorath once more and sends us away.
There is many you, many Sheogorath, many me, indeed. Same, there was many Grey Fox wearing a Grey Cowl, or not.
This portal takes us to an isolated, peaceful valley somewhere deep in Akavir, the Dragonland, a continent east of Tamriel, located on the other side of the Padomaic Ocean. Here, in the temple grounds, we'll finally find the Cowl of Nocturnal to claim as our own in this beautiful urn. Now, all there's left to do is to go back to Skyrim and meet meet with Seviana Ambranox one last time. She is touched by seeing our mission to be at its end and wishes to go back to Anvil in Cyrodiil.
I can imagine. Let me guess. You were in Hammerfell and Akavir. I know everything about your mission. Don't forget, I am an Ambranox. Moreover, you met my cousins in Hammerfell.
We'll escort these two people to the Docks of Solitude, and that's where this mod's main questline finally ends. Now, if you're not quite ready for your Hammerfell adventure to end so soon, let's go back and take a look at the miscellaneous quests you can do and some other fun pastime available in this region. Yes, there are dunes of sand, many temples, and even more desert wolves, but there is also an anomaly, a deep dwarven dungeon which you can go through and collect 4 Praetorian Dynamo cores to bring to Sidious for 2000 gold. As a certified hater of dwarven dungeons, I can't believe I escaped Skyrim just to end up in a place like this again. Anyway, there are these dwarven Beyblades, a new enemy creature that are very hard to hit and very annoying. Just get me out of here! Anyway, this place is so challenging mentally and physically, so good luck out there, soldier. There are also gateways to the previous places of this mod here too, if you want to return to Coldharbour, for example. After nearly losing my mind in an unexpected dwarven dungeon, let's do something else and visit the house of the ancient Alik'r warrior. In this gorge, a warrior once lived and has now left this earth in the search of another. Conveniently, there's a locked chest, and I'm sure this warrior doesn't need its contents wherever they are now. The key to this chest can be found in the beautiful location of ancient Alik'r Temple, and inside there is a Redguard outfit set with some useful buffs to your character. Nearby, a group of desert bandits have taken over the lavish house of Shanta Philip. Now, after showing them who's who and what's what, we'll return to Ben Erai, where our reward is nothing short of incredible. The house is now ours. Forget that tiny town apartment, as we now have this luxurious vacation home in the middle of Alik'r Desert. But that's not all of the surprises. Shanta Philip is not at all furnished, so the first thing we need to do is to buy furniture. And of course, we'll get everything. Now, this estate is complete with all the amenities and conveniences we'd ever need while staying at Hammerfell. The only thing missing here is a swimming pool. Just kidding. This home is just the perfect place to rest before doing something crazy like fighting in the pit. Right next to the town of Ben Erai, next to some guard towers, there is a fighting pit constructed to keep the good people of Alik'r Desert entertained. Here, we don't only have to spectate these fights, but we can also join the fighting and try our bare fists against these brutes. There are 2 people you can brawl, and if you manage to win either one, there is a good amount of gold in it for you. There's also a betting system, so you can bet on either one of the fighters. Now, back to the deep desert. This location here, where the mummies viciously attack us for disrupting their peace, is the tomb of Hamunaptra. Inside, there are more mummies and a ton of small spiders, which should be promptly killed with fire. Finally, after countless embalmed walking dead and countless arachnid friends, we enter this room with a golden scimitar levitating on a stand and a body hidden away in magic on the other side of it. When grabbing the scimitar, of course we need something to bring back home, Imhotep frees himself from the magic and retaliates on our rude attempt on thieving his belongings. After this boss battle, walking out of the tomb, we can find the memoriam for Adam Adamovich, who was the genius concept artist for many Bethesda games and left this world too soon. On the far eastern side of the region, we'll come across the mysterious Forgotten City, a settlement enclosed within the robust stone walls where only the dead dance. Spirits of cursed Alik'r warriors roam around the empty streets, and our goal here is to find any information on this town erased. Here it is better to sneak and not directly fight all these ghosts, as they're tough and there are so many of them. In this chest, we'll find a key to the tomb of the forgotten Draugr and a book, We Are Yokudans, which describes the history of Alik'r Desert. There's also information on the crypt, where they had awoken Sadraka, an exiled spirit who cursed the whole of the Forgotten City. Now, it's up to us to make an end to this torment and slay Sadraka in her crypt to free the ghosts of Alik'r warriors of her curse and help them leave this plane. In this tomb, there are many narrow pathways, ancient pottery, pull bars, and of course, enemies of two sorts: corrupted Alik'r warriors and spiders. Seriously! There you go, that's what you get. After surviving these perilous halls, we'll find another book to shed some light on the entity that has cursed this place. Sadraka betrayed Archmage Galder and his sons, as she wanted to become the next Archmage, but ended up being banished here for her crimes. Well, I guess we've been warned. I guess it's time to end this curse for good. Sadraka lies in her crypt and is a fearsome enemy to face, but after managing to bring her down and exiting the building, we can see the ghostly warriors praying around the book. When we grab the spell tome, they vanish and the red glow disappears. The curse has been lifted from Forgotten City, and finally the souls have been granted peace for good. I think we have just one more thing to do here in Alik'r Desert. By the entrance to the Oasis of Mora, there is a charming little store, 3 Peaks Staff and Magic. It's carried by Ilrav Banius, the twin brother of the salesman in Ben Erai. Ilrav is conducting some sort of research and wants us to place some mysterious artifacts in 4 different places in Skyrim. Well, all of these artifacts, when placed on the holder, harm us in different ways, and Ilrav is mortified for causing such a trouble.
Damn! It's completely wrong! I need to do a complete rework on the artifact.
In exchange of all the injuries, he'll give us a nice amulet for all our trouble. The Gray Cowl of Nocturnal is an old mod by now, so it's not a surprise that even with its remastered version, it's not without its flaws. I would have loved to see more voice-acted characters roaming around Ben Erai and learn more about these people and this place, and going through some of the early dungeons felt tedious at times. Aside from these 2 things, I was enamored with the mod. The story presents a continuation to Oblivion's Thieves Guild questline while making it feel connected to Skyrim in a plausible way. Exploration is definitely the part of the mod that shines the most. All of the new environments feel creative and are fun to go through, apart from Coldharbour, which of course looked awesome, but sneaking through it felt somewhat laborious. Of course, Ben Erai is the jewel of the desert, but it's one where I couldn't shake the feeling of walking in a Counter-Strike map. Don't get me wrong, this is by no means a critique. On the contrary, the town is well crafted, looks great with a clear, cohesive vision, and has some secrets in itself, which reminds me of Valve games. All in all, the Gray Cowl of Nocturnal balances between two things: exploration and dungeons, both of which it does well, even though some people with a lesser ability to navigate in 3D spaces, like myself, might struggle with. Even after 10 years, the mod holds up, and now with the 10th anniversary version, I'd go as far as to say one could rightfully mistake it for a more modern creation. I'd recommend it to anyone with Oblivion nostalgia, those whose gameplay revolves around being Thieves Guild guildmasters, and simply homesick redguards. Which Skyrim quest mod should I play next? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Also, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see my videos on your front page in the future. And for those who'd like to further support my efforts on the channel, watch some extra content, and gain access to the private Discord, check out patreon.com/bardscollegegraduate. My thanks to Eric Slagenweit, Big Wang, Billy Duncan, Dode Punker, Frank Brackett, Onshore Flyer 15, Ryan Ulrich, and the Panicked Monk, as well as my other Patreon supporters whom I appreciate the most. Thank you so much for watching the video. See ya!